Welcome to In the Kitchen with Dinah. Today, we're making no-knead bread.
Someone's in the kitchen with Dinah. Someone's in the kitchen, I know. Someone's in the kitchen with Dinah. Gonna taste good, I know.
Well, welcome to my channel. Thanks for watching. If you're new, I say welcome to you as well. Thanks for watching. Today, I'm gonna show you how to make some really easy no-knead bread. It's 4 ingredients and it is great if you don't have a fancy mixer. You don't need anything fancy. So let's get started. We got 3 cups of all-purpose flour in here. I'm gonna do 1.5 teaspoons of just plain old yeast. Put that in. And 1/2 teaspoon to a teaspoon of salt. And then we need 1.5 cups of warm water, about 110 degrees. I'm gonna grab that out of the faucet. So I got 1.5 cups of nice warm water. We're just gonna pour it in and use either, like, you can use a metal spoon, a wooden spoon. I have one of these really great Danish dough hooks. Just give it a swirl. Now this is one easy bread that you can make, throw it together before work and let it sit on the counter all day and then come home and bake it if you've got soup or something to serve with it. It goes great with pasta. So I've got it all mixed up here. It's really raggy looking and that's exactly what you want. And that is it. That's it. We are gonna cover it loosely. Get all that stuff in there. And I just leave it like this because the yeast is gonna activate and it's gonna sit and do its thing all day, and it turns into this amazing, delicious, crusty loaf. So there's that one. I'm also gonna show you a variation on it. This variation I've wanted to make for a long time, and I just think it'd be so delicious at breakfast toasted. So we got, once again, our 3 cups of flour in here. I'm gonna do about 1/2-ish teaspoon of salt, our 1.5 teaspoons of yeast. And in addition to that, I've got about 2 tablespoons of brown sugar because we want it a little sweeter. We're also gonna add 2 teaspoons of cinnamon because it is cinnamon raisin bread. Now this one I think would be fun to make the night before and then bake it off and have it hot for breakfast. So I'm gonna give this a stir to get that brown sugar kind of mixed in before we add the water. And I've got 2/3 cup of raisins here. If you want more, you can add more and give that a mix. Then I'm gonna go ahead and get my 1.5 cups of warm water. All right, and here's our warm water. Go ahead and pour that in and give this a mix. Now this needs to sit for a minimum of probably 4 hours on your counter. I'm gonna just let it sit all day today and I'm gonna bake them off later and I'll be back to show you. Oh, this smells really yummy with the cinnamon. I think this is gonna be so yummy toasted up. All right, that's incorporated. So I am going to cover these probably with saran wrap. Keep them all nice and warm. I'm not gonna put it on tight though. I'm just gonna set it on top. If you've got like a loose fitting lid, that would work too. Let's get our other one. If you've got like stew or soup or a pasta dish or something super saucy that needs some crusty bread, this is the bread for you. So I'm just gonna leave these here on the counter and then we'll be back later in probably 6 to 8 hours and then I'll show you what they look like and we'll get our oven heated up. The only other thing you're gonna need to make this is either a big, large Corningware dish with a lid or a cast iron Dutch oven. So we will be back in 6 to 8 hours and we'll see you then. Well, welcome back. It's been about 6 hours. These have been sitting on my counter and they've grown a little bit. About 1/2 hour before you're ready to bake them, you're gonna wanna turn your oven on to 450 degrees. And I have my cast iron Dutch oven in there with the lid on. It's all getting hot because we're gonna put the dough into a hot Dutch oven. So I'm gonna show you how I get the plain one done first and then we'll do the cinnamon raisin one. So I like to roll this out a little and knead it just a tiny bit. You can see how airy and bubbly it is. And I'm going to roll it out and then I'm going to set it on a piece of parchment. Then I can just lower it right into the Dutch oven. Because that is a little tricky because this dough is very, I don't even know what the word is, loose. Spongy and delicious. Yep, so I'm just scooping it out real gentle to my floured surface. And I've seen tons of recipes for these. I mean, this has been out for a while. But I think it'd be really fun to add cheese or any herbs or garlic to this, just to give it a little extra flavor. So I'm just gonna knead it just a little, not too much. I'm gonna just get it to a nice round, knock some of the flour off. And I'm going to set it on a piece of parchment just like that. I'm gonna pull this up so you guys can see my Dutch oven. I'm gonna grab it out of the oven and I just leave my oven door open because these are such a beast. Super hot. I'm gonna set this in here like that. Put the lid back on. Now we're gonna cook it for a half an hour covered, and then we're gonna uncover it and bake it for another 15 minutes. So that's one down. Let's take a look at the cinnamon raisin one, which I cannot wait to have for breakfast. Oh, this smells really, really delicious. Ooh, this one, man, that smells good.
It looks really yummy.
All right, got that in a nice round. I'm gonna set that on there and let's grab, everything's gonna be messy, but that's okay. Let's grab my other Dutch oven. Ooh-ah. This is my big one. Just make sure you don't touch it because man, it's hot. And we're gonna lower that one in, put the lid on it, and put this one in too. Here we go. Clunk. Okay, so now we wait a half an hour. In a half an hour, I'm gonna pull the lids off and cook them for another 15 minutes so that the crust of the bread gets nice and brown. It's gonna get all crackly and wonderful. And I'm gonna clean up this mess and I'll see you in a half an hour. All right, let's take some lids off. Now they're gonna look very pale, but when we take the lid off, it's gonna cook for 15 more minutes. Ooh, look how pretty that is. Here, give you a sneak peek. Whoa. And now it's gonna brown up. Yummo. Okay, let's see how that cinnamon raisin one did. This is big, my big one. Steamed up my glasses. Ooh. Oh my gosh, that's hot. And here is that one. That is looking really pretty too. Okay, 15 more minutes. Okay. Here we go. It's all nice and golden brown. Woo, look at that.
Lovely. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to eat that.
Me neither. Let's look at this one. Woo. Oh yeah.
Oh, delicious.
Got a little crispy raisin. Ow, that's hot. A little crispy raisin, but that's all right.
Crunch.
Crunchy. Look at how beautiful these are. I'm gonna lift them out. This is one great thing about the parchment. See, there is the white one. Here is this cinnamon raisin one. They are beautiful. Look at that. Wow. Look at that. Yum. I can't wait to cut into these beautiful loaves. Look at these. I mean, you could probably slit it, but I love all these crispy tops. Man. So we're gonna wait for these to cool. And I'll probably show you cutting into them because all the bubbles and holes inside and the chewiness of the bread, it's so delicious. So I'm gonna wait for these to cool. I'm gonna go make the rest of my dinner. We're gonna have spaghetti with this delicious bread tonight. Slather it with some butter. I can't even wait to sop up the sauce. And then I'll be back with you guys and we're gonna cut it open and eat some of it because it's so delicious. So we'll see you then. Well, welcome back. Our bread is cool enough to cut and eat for dinner. I made some spaghetti to go with it because I love to sop the sauce up with this. And we're gonna cut into it. You can already hear how crunchy it is. Look at that deliciousness. Who doesn't want this? Yum. Oh, you want a snack?
Who needs some bread?
Here.
Oh, he likes bread.
We all like a bread. It was so easy to make. It took like no time at all. The hardest part was probably waiting for the oven to get hot. So I just want to say thanks for joining me in my kitchen today. I hope you guys are able to try this no-knead bread because we all need bread. So all the needs in the world are right here. They're met with this delicious bread. So if you're new, thanks again for joining me. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, like, subscribe, turn on the bell for notifications. You guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you on the next episode. Sorry.
Holy moly! You can leave little man up there.
Okay.
If you want to, you don't have to.
Now I'm clear.
Okay, here we go. Let the set go. Speak to the eyeball.
Speak to the dot in the fluff ball.
Speak to the dead mouse.
Sounds like you don't need it. I mean, like you really need it.
It was at that moment that an insect flew into her mouth and caused her to cough uncontrollably.
Hang on, Denver. I know you're starving.
Gonna taste good, I know.